Imagine this paradise, right? Sun-drenched beaches, these incredible blue waters. You're soaring above it all, parasailing, just feeling the wind. Everything looks beautiful, totally serene.
Yeah, peaceful, almost unreal.
And then bam, out of nowhere, this primal scream just rips through the air.
Mm,
And what you thought was just, a simple vacation, it instantly becomes this terrifying fight, a fight for survival against creatures you thought were long, long extinct.
that's the immediate plunge, isn't it? That's Jurassic Park 3.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that takes a single stack of sources. Today, it's a really comprehensive look at the 2001 film Jurassic Park III, and we pull out the most important bits, the key insights.
Right. Our mission today is basically to cut through maybe some of the noise surrounding this film, go beyond just a simple plot recap.
Exactly. We want to give you a shortcut to being genuinely well-informed about this, pivotal installment in the whole Jurassic Park story. It's often debated, this one.
It really is. And we're going to unpack its unique sort of narrative choices, look at the new dinosaur threats it brought in.
And really get into some of the surprising themes, the ones people maybe overlook, that make it more than just, another creature feature.
Our main source here is this detailed story summary called Jurassic Park III, Isla Sorna Survival. It goes deep into the plot, the characters, the themes.
So this deep dive, it'll be your guide through that fast-paced rescue mission that turns into this relentless survival thriller. You get the full picture of the nuance without having to maybe relive every single jump scare yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you look at a third movie in a really beloved franchise like this, they often get kind of a mixed bag reception, don't
They
they?
really do. It's tough territory.
So what do you think this film's main goal was?
Yeah.
Right from that opening. How did it try to set itself apart from, say, the first two?
That's a really key question, and I think the film answers it almost immediately. Right from those first moments, Jurassic Park 3 establishes a very distinct, almost unapologetic tone. It's really sharp in how different it feels from the others. It doesn't sort of ease you in with the philosophical stuff or that slow burn dread of scientific discovery.
No, definitely not.
Instead, it just drops you right into the middle of this relentless, immediate fight for survival. It's like a declaration saying, look, this isn't the Jurassic Park you thought you knew. This is something else.
A different beast entirely.
Exactly. It signals that shift from maybe suspenseful horror with that science core towards something more visceral, more action-driven, pure survival.
And that immediate visceral feeling really sets the stage, doesn't it? And it's interesting, it's not Dr. Alan Grant, our familiar face, who gets that first shock.
No, it's not.
Instead, we're thrown right into this horrifying incident. Just off the coast of Isla Sorna, we see this 12-year-old kid, Eric Kirby, and a family friend, Ben Hildebrand.
Parasailing. Looks idyllic for a second.
Just for a second, that sense of calm is just shattered instantly.
And what's crucial there is how abruptly it establishes the stakes. There's no slow build-up, no scientific explanation about why they're even near Sorna, not really. We don't even see what attacks the boat initially.
Right, the boat is just mysteriously attacked. That's the key word.
Exactly, and the line gets cut. 1 minute, they're soaring, carefree, high above everything. The next, they're just drifting, helplessly drifting towards this island.
An island we know is dangerous.
Teeming with predators, and then just like that, the screen cuts. They vanish into the mist, into the jungle.
Leaving you, the listener,
Yeah.
completely hanging. Like, what on earth just happened?
And that opening shot, it basically screams that Jurassic Park III isn't really interested in the slow burn this time, or those deep philosophical debates about chaos theory.
No, it's full throttle from the start.
It's a relentless chase from minute one, drops you right into the chaos. It signals that, for this story, the why is maybe less important than the what happens next.
Yeah, it's all about the immediate peril.
Absolutely. It's masterful in setting up that danger and tension without giving too much away. It forces you to grapple with the unknown right alongside them.
And yet, even with that clear danger established, we still see people willingly going back. Or, well, maybe not so willingly sometimes.
Right. Which brings us to Dr. Grant.
Exactly. Our familiar face, Dr. Alan Grant. The paleontologist we know from the first film. We cut to him, and he seems to be back in his academic life trying to put all that terror behind him.
Yeah, he's found some kind of normalcy, hasn't he? He's researching raptor intelligence, working with his young grad student, Billy Brennan.
Seems peaceful enough.
But the source material is really clear on this. Grant is still traumatized, deeply, by what happened on Isla Nublar.
It's not just a bad memory, then.
Not at all. It's this deep-seated, almost visceral fear. He explicitly wants nothing to do with dinosaurs ever again, especially not the clone ones that caused him so much grief.
Right, which sets up this huge internal conflict for him, doesn't it? Why is he so dead set against it now, even just talking about that?
Well, it's his firsthand experience, isn't it? The chaos, loss of life, the sheer terror, it left a permanent mark. It turned his scientific curiosity into this profound aversion.
That psychological scarring is key, then.
It's absolutely crucial to understanding why he would ever consider going back to a dinosaur island, because it highlights that huge, lasting impact. His fear isn't abstract. It's born from real trauma.
It's the classic reluctant hero setup, isn't it?
Yep.
The expert, the one who knows the dangers best, getting dragged back in against all his instincts.
Exactly. And the pull comes in this really unexpected form. Paul and Amanda Kirby,
Ah, yes, the Kirbys.
they approach Grant and they present themselves as these, well, wealthy adventurers, thrill seekers.
Plausible enough, maybe.
And their offer is tempting. They'll fund his research, which he desperately needs money for, in exchange for just a simple guided aerial tour over Isla Sorna.
Just a flyover. Sounds safe enough on paper.
You can almost feel Grant wrestling with it, can't you? He's a scientist, needs the funding. This feels like a lifeline. So, despite his very strong misgivings, he reluctantly agrees.
Brings Billy along, too. Probably thinking, okay, quick flight, no landing, straightforward deal.
And this is exactly where the whole thing takes that sharp, deceptive turn. It's a really pivotal moment, changes everything.
Landing.
Yes. The Kirbys insist on landing the plane. Grant's protesting frantically. It's clear something's wrong. That immediately raises red flags for Grant and for us watching.
And then the truth comes out.
The bombshell. They are not rich adventurers at all. They're a divorced middle-class couple.
Just ordinary people.
Utterly desperate. Desperate to find their missing son, Eric, who vanished 8 weeks earlier on that parasailing trip we saw.
Wow. So that whole setup was a lie.
A complete fabrication. And that sudden shift from what was supposed to be a casual tour to this desperate, high-stakes search and rescue, it instantly changes everything. The stakes, the morality of it all.
It turns it from a science trip into something deeply personal, doesn't it?
Exactly. An emotionally charged human drama, driven by that raw parental instinct. But the deception, it casts this shadow over the Kirbys. You question their ethics, even while you kind of understand their desperation.
You absolutely do. And it immediately throws this question out there for you, the listener. How far would you actually go to save someone you loved? Even if it meant putting others in danger, breaking your own moral code, walking right into a nightmare scenario you knew was terrifying.
It's a tough question.
The Kirbys' actions really highlight that raw power of parental love. Sometimes reckless, maybe, but powerful. They're willing to lie, manipulate, endanger strangers, all for that slim, desperate hope of finding their son.
It's a universal drive, isn't it, that instinct? And it grounds the whole fantastical dinosaur element. It sets this entire terrifying chain of events in motion.
That desperation, it really fuels this particular film, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It moves beyond maybe the scientific curiosity or the corporate greed we saw in the earlier ones.
Absolutely. Here it's that raw, desperate human element overriding everything else, science, ethics, common sense even. It makes their gamble both understandable and incredibly dangerous.
And once that deception is out and they're on the ground, well, the film doesn't waste a single second, does it?
Not a moment.
Literally moments after landing, they're confronted by something huge, something new to the franchise.
The Spinosaurus?
Yeah. This isn't just any dinosaur. It's massive, unfamiliar, and it attacks almost instantly. Just this terrifying display of power. Kills 2 crew members right off the bat.
And crucially, destroys the plane.
Right, which is more than just an attack.
Oh, much more. It's the immediate, brutal removal of their only way out. Suddenly, they are well and truly stranded.
Marooned on an island that's now actively hunting them.
Exactly. Their lifeline is gone. The Spinosaurus isn't just established as a threat. It's the immediate, overwhelming force. It sets this relentless pace for the whole rest of the movie.
No time to regroup. No time to plan an alternative escape.
Nope. It's pure, immediate survival mode. By destroying the plane so definitively, it forces them to trek across the island, face the environment head on, it ramps up their vulnerability instantly.
Yeah.
Makes it crystal clear there's no easy way off this ride.
And the sheer power of the Spinosaurus in that first encounter,
Yeah.
it really sticks with you. It's clear this is a whole different ballgame. And this is where it gets really interesting, especially if you're a fan of the franchise. Because this isn't just another dinosaur. It's something different, something bigger, maybe even meaner. Because soon after that crash, they stumble across a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
The king.
The king. For anyone who's seen the first two films, the T-Rex is the icon. The undisputed, terrifying alpha predator.
You expect that tense standoff, right? They barely escape the familiar terror.
Exactly. But here, no, in this brutal battle, the Spinosaurus just kill it quickly, decisively, almost unceremoniously.
And what's truly fascinating there is how the film deliberately subverts your expectations. It introduces this new dominant predator and then immediately shows its supremacy.
It dethrones the king.
It completely dethrones the king. For the audience, the T-Rex was the ultimate symbol of the island's power, its terror. Seeing it defeated so easily, so brutally by this newcomer, it tells you the rules have fundamentally changed.
The threats are escalating.
Dramatically. This wasn't just throwing in a new dinosaur for fun. It was a deliberate narrative choice, a statement.
Yeah, you felt that.
The T-Rex had almost become, I don't want to say comfortable, but a known quantity of terror, right? Deadly, yes, but familiar from the first two movies.
You knew what you're dealing with, sorta.
Exactly. By having the Spinosaurus just tear it down, Jurassic Park III rips away that familiar sense of scale and power. It creates this truly alien threat.
It's a really bold move.
Incredibly bold, and it tells the audience straight up, look, whatever you thought you knew about apex predators, forget it.
Yeah.
This moment famously split fans, People still argue about whether the T-Rex should have lost.
Oh, I bet.
But undeniably, it cemented the Spinosaurus as the new, formidable, unpredictable top dog of this island. It instantly made the stakes feel higher, the environment more dangerous, more alien.
And it primes you, as the viewer, to expect the unexpected from then on, which is exactly what you want in a survival thriller.
It's a powerful statement, isn't it? It basically screams, forget your assumptions. This island is different. The danger's on a whole new level.
Yeah, it's a genuinely shocking moment that makes you sit up and realize, okay, the old hierarchy, it's gone. We have to constantly reassess the threats now.
So the group is now forced deeper into this unforgiving jungle, right? Yeah. And the film starts exploring not just those external threats like the Spinosaurus, but also some really critical internal conflicts within the group itself.
Right. The human drama doesn't stop just because there are dinosaurs.
Exactly. And one big point of tension comes from Billy Brennan, Dr. Grant's student. Remember him? Earnest guy.
Yeah, the grad student.
Well, in what seems like this desperate, maybe misguided attempt to secure funding for the research down the line, he secretly pockets a stolen raptor egg. Actually, a couple of them.
Billy, no, you can immediately see that's going to be bad news.
Very bad news. His heart might have been in the right place, thinking long-term about their work, the need for funding.
But it instantly creates this huge internal conflict. And as you said, it definitely foreshadows a major, terrifying confrontation later on.
Absolutely. Billy's act, even though it comes from a scientific perspective trying to save their research, maybe make a discovery, it directly puts the group's immediate survival in jeopardy, in the worst possible way.
It's that survival versus science theme playing out again, isn't it?
Perfectly. How does that pursuit of knowledge, even noble scientific curiosity, sometimes just clash violently with the urgent primal need for safety, for just staying alive right now?
And this seemingly small thing, taking a couple of eggs,
it has massive life-threatening consequences later. It's basically what drives that relentless raptor pursuit, which becomes this central, terrifying threat for a big chunk of the film. It really shows the danger of bringing those human desires, those ambitions, into this unpredictable, unnatural world. It's a classic case, isn't it? Human ambition, even rooted in something like intellectual curiosity, blinding someone to the immediate dangers, unleashing something catastrophic.
Yeah. And as if a new giant predator and internal conflicts weren't enough.
Right. They then stumble into a completely new kind of threat, environmentally too, the pteranodon aviary.
Ah, the aviary. That sequence is intense.
The source calls it a dangerous and misfilled environment. And inside, these flying reptiles attack. Billy, again, has a near-fatal encounter.
This adds a whole new dimension, doesn't it? Aerial predators. It's not just what's on the ground anymore.
Exactly. And that mist-filled environment isn't just for atmosphere. It's genius, really. It enhances the suspense, makes the attacks feel way more disorienting.
You can't see them coming clearly. Every shadow, every shift in the fog,
Yeah.
potential death from above.
It adds this layer of claustrophobia, paradoxically, even though it's this huge open space, and disorientation. It's not just the creatures, it's the treacherous environment itself. Makes every turn a potential new way to get attacked.
And Billy's encounter there, getting snatched, nearly dropped. It really hammers home the constant, multifaceted danger they're in.
And then, amidst all this escalating peril, something genuinely surprising happens. And kind of hopeful, in a strange way.
Okay.
Dr. Grant gets separated from the main group, which, in this movie, usually spells disaster.
Yeah, you assume the worst.
But instead, he's rescued, surprisingly rescued by Eric Kirby, the missing 12-year-old boy.
The kid they came to find. He's alive.
Alive and kicking. And this isn't just luck or a convenient plot twist. The source highlights that Eric has managed to survive alone for 8 full weeks.
8 weeks.
Primarily by hiding out in an overturned supply truck, but more importantly by scavenging and being smart about dinosaur behavior.
Wow. That's incredible. A 12-year-old surviving alone on Dinosaur Island for 2 months.
It's truly remarkable, and it's a real testament to human resilience, adaptability, especially from someone so young who you'd think would be completely helpless.
He didn't just hide them.
No, he actively learned the island, its dangers, and crucially, how to survive within that terrifying ecosystem. He figured out which areas to avoid, maybe based on territorial markings or calls he learned.
He understood the patterns.
Exactly. Feeding patterns, behaviors of different species. He rigged a makeshift alarm system with junk he found fresh water. He used his intelligence, his observation skills to understand these creatures. Almost became part of the environment himself, like a wild child.
How does a kid manage that when trained adults often struggle so much?
It suggests maybe this raw, instinctive understanding, doesn't it? A natural knack for survival that maybe adults, with all our baggage and assumptions, lose. It shows survival isn't just about strength or book smarts. It's about observation, quick thinking, smart adaptation. It raises this really important point about resourcefulness, doesn't it? And what survival actually means. Eric's ability to scavenge, yes, but also to understand dinosaur behavior. That's not just a skill, it's a profound shift in how he relates to that environment.
He's not just prey.
No, he's not passively waiting for rescue. He's actively engaging with and learning from his terrifying surroundings, using that knowledge to anticipate threats, find safety, get necessities.
It's intellect and observation over brute force.
Precisely. And what lessons can we draw from that about adapting to extreme situations? It shows that survival there requires this fundamental mindset shift from being just a visitor, an outsider, to becoming an integrated, albeit terrified, part of the ecosystem.
His ingenuity really stands out, especially compared to some of the, let's say, less informed decisions the adults make sometimes.
It does. It highlights that sometimes raw instinct and keen observation can outweigh formal training when you're facing the completely unknown.
Okay, so after all those incredibly close calls, the surprising rescue, the group finally reunites. Eric's back with his parents, Grant's back. Seems like a moment of relief.
For about 5 seconds.
Right, because their problems are definitely not over. Now, the raptors, we've had hints, but now they really come into play in a big, terrifying way.
The stolen eggs come home to roost, so to speak.
Exactly. They start hunting them intelligently, specifically trying to get back those stolen eggs, the ones Billy took.
And this part of the film really pushes that idea of raptor intelligence further than we'd seen before.
How so?
Well, these aren't just mindless killing machines. They're organized, they seem strategic, they have a very clear objective. Get the eggs back.
It feels personal.
It does, highly calculated. They don't just chase blindly, they communicate using those complex calls. They seem to coordinate their hunts, maybe even set traps like in that abandoned InGen facility sequence where they really corner the group effectively.
And then there's that standoff.
That tense standoff is critical. It's this moment of almost negotiation, an uneasy truce based on that shared primal goal, the eggs.
The group actually gives the eggs back.
They do. And surprisingly, the raptors take them and retreat. It's not just a fight, it's this calculated, almost communicative interaction between species. The raptors show this capacity for complex thought, for purpose.
Which raises that chilling question you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. What does this imply about their future? If they keep evolving, keep displaying these cognitive abilities, it suggests a species that's not just physically dangerous, but intellectually adaptive.
Making them an even bigger long-term threat. Their intelligence isn't just a plot point. It's a genuinely terrifying glimpse into what might be coming. A species that's not just deadly, but genuinely smart, strategic, maybe even capable of real problem solving. That is a chilling thought.
Hmm.
And speaking of deadly, the Spinosaurus isn't done yet either, is it?
Oh, no. The new apex predator returns for one final, terrifying confrontation, this time on a river.
The ultimate showdown.
It is, but this time it's Dr. Grant, the paleontologist, the scientist, who finds the solution. He doesn't rely on brute force.
No, he uses his brain.
His wits, exactly. And his knowledge of the environment, however basic. He uses a flare gun and some spilled fuel.
To drive it away by setting the river on fire.
Right. Which is this incredibly primal yet effective deterrent. That visual, the river ablaze, pushing back this enormous, seemingly unstoppable creature.
Yeah.
It's really impactful, symbolic even.
It underscores that idea that intelligence, quick thinking, adaptability can sometimes win against just sheer power.
Exactly. It's a satisfying moment of triumph, showing that even against these overwhelming natural or unnatural forces, human resourcefulness can find a way. And it feels right for Grant's character, doesn't it? Outsmarting the beast rather than just trying to kill it.
And just when you think, okay, maybe they've overcome the worst of it, but how do they possibly get off this island now?
When all hope seems lost.
The sound from the sky.
The
cavalry arrives. The U.S. Marine Corps and Navy.
Called in by Ellie Sattler, Grant's old friend, using that satellite phone earlier.
It's his moment of huge, palpable relief. Finally, safety.
But the film doesn't just end there, does it? It doesn't give you a simple, clean, happy ending.
No. As they're flying away, safe at last, they see something chilling. Something that acts as this profound final warning.
A flock of pteranodons flying freely.
Indicating that the dinosaurs are beginning to migrate and adapt even beyond the island.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, the whole franchise, that final scene poses this huge, unsettling question. What happens when the consequences of our scientific arrogance, our hubris, are no longer contained? When they spill out from these isolated islands into the wider world?
The rescue gives immediate relief, yes. But that image lingers.
It's a powerful statement about the danger of tampering with nature. It implies the problem isn't solved, it isn't contained, it's spreading, adapting, moving beyond our control.
Hinting at a much bigger, maybe global threat than just one creature on one island.
Absolutely. It leaves you, the listener, with this deeply unsettling feeling. This wasn't just about surviving Isla Sorna. It's a chilling premonition. These creatures could become a global phenomenon, changing the world's ecosystem forever. #tag unpacking the film's core themes and lasting impact.
So when we step back and look at Jurassic Park III overall, what are the big takeaways? One of the most obvious things, like we talked about, is how much it shifts focus from the earlier films.
Yes, significantly. The source notes it leans more into action and survival than the ethical and scientific themes of the previous films.
And that really changes the whole viewing experience, doesn't it?
Completely. The original Jurassic Park, it was so much about those big questions, wasn't it? The ethics of creation, chaos theory, the morality of genetic power, so preoccupied with whether or not they could.
Didn't stop to think if they should. Classic.
Exactly. Jurassic Park 3 mostly bypasses that deep philosophical stuff.
Yeah.
It shifts to this more direct, relentless focus on just staying alive, moment-to-moment survival.
It becomes a pure survival thriller.
Pretty much. Showcasing human ingenuity, desperation against these overwhelming odds in a hostile place. It changes the feel of the film. Less, should we have done this? And more, how the heck do we get out of this immediate nightmare?
Which makes it more visceral, maybe more adrenaline-fueled for the viewer.
I think so. It prioritizes those immediate thrills, that suspense, over maybe the deeper contemplation. It's a different kind of monster movie. Focuses on the what if they're just out to get us, rather than the what have we created aspect.
But underneath all that relentless action, that sheer terror, there is that surprisingly strong emotional core we mentioned. Parental courage.
Yes, absolutely. The Kirbys. Their reckless but determined journey highlights the undeniable strength of parental love.
That really provides the emotional anchor, doesn't it? Amidst all the dinosaur chaos.
It really does. Their initial lie, their willingness to risk literally everything, their lives, other people's lives, and the incredible dangers they face. It's all driven by that primal, universal need to protect their child.
It's a motivation that grounds the whole fantastical scenario. Makes the human stakes feel very real, very relatable.
You might question their methods, maybe even condemn the deception.
But you understand the depth of their desperation, their love.
Exactly. And that keeps you invested in their journey even when things look completely hopeless. It reminds us that even in a world with cloned dinosaurs, sometimes the most powerful forces are still the human ones, pushing people to extraordinary lengths.
And beyond that human element, the film also really leans into something terrifying about the dinosaurs themselves. Something hinted at before, but maybe brought more to the forefront here. Their evolution.
Right. It explores raptor intelligence and the profound threat of dinosaurs evolving beyond human control.
This feels like a crucial step in the franchise's story, building on what we saw before, especially with the raptors.
Definitely. The idea that these creatures aren't just static monsters, not just driven by basic instinct, but that they are visibly learning, adapting, becoming more sophisticated hunters, that adds this profound layer of dread.
It's not just about surviving one attack anymore.
No, it's about confronting an intelligent, evolving threat, one that constantly learns from its encounters with us. The raptors' calculated pursuit, their communication, their coordination, their problem solving.
Like figuring out how to corner them in that facility.
Exactly. It elevates them from just beasts to cunning, strategic opponents. And that evolution poses that terrifying question. If they can adapt and learn this quickly, what will they become? How can we ever hope to contain or even understand them?
It suggests that whole nature finds a way thing isn't just about escaping fences.
It's about the very nature of the dinosaurs themselves becoming something far more formidable, far more cognitively advanced than maybe even their creators anticipated.
And that idea, that intelligence, that adaptability, it leads right back to that core theme of the whole franchise, doesn't it?
Mm.
Nature finds a way.
Mm-hmm.
Even with its heavy action focus, the film still powerfully highlights the dangers of tampering with nature.
Absolutely. And that final shot, the pteranodons flying off Isla Sorna, it's such a potent, chilling reminder of that central message, the message that underpins the entire Jurassic Park saga.
It's the ultimate consequence of human hubris,
Yeah,
of playing God.
exactly. Life, once you unleash it, especially in such a powerful, adaptable form,
Yeah.
you can't truly contain it. Not within fences, not within controlled environments. The consequences of messing with nature are far-reaching, unpredictable, and ultimately uncontrollable.
It brings it full circle, doesn't it? Reinforces that core warning.
It really does,
Yeah.
reminding you, the listener, that our attempts to control nature often lead to these unintended, irreversible consequences that spread far beyond what we initially expected. Sometimes, quite literally, taking flight and changing the world. Hashtag tag outro.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean for this film, for the franchise? Our deep dive into Jurassic Park III really shows it as this tighter, more action-packed entry. It definitely redefined the immediate threats, didn't it? Bringing in the Spinosaurus, showcasing that chilling raptor intelligence.
Yeah, and alongside that, it powerfully highlighted that theme of parental courage, anchoring all the wild action in something deeply human.
But what's really fascinating, as you said, is how even with that heavy focus on pure survival, on action, it still manages to subtly but powerfully reinforce that core message of the whole series.
The ultimate uncontrollable consequences of tampering with nature. It's not just about what's stuck on an island anymore. The problem is, well, literally taking flight.
Think about that final image again. Those pteranodons soaring. Free. Graceful, maybe, but also terrifyingly free. No longer contained by that island. What are the real long-term implications of that? Of these creatures becoming truly wild, truly migratory, integrating into the world's ecosystems.
What happens when tampering with nature doesn't just spill over from a couple of isolated islands, but starts to impact the entire globe?
It leaves you with this profound, maybe unsettling sense of the world changing, irrevocably, hinting at a future where maybe, just maybe, humanity isn't the only apex predator anymore. Gives you something to think about, doesn't it?